Horsetails is proudly brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. South Carolina, a true leader in the equine industry. Standing here on the banks of the Great Petite River, about a half mile off the Great Petite River, we experienced probably the second of a 100-year flood. It was the third highest freshet ever recorded up here in Cheraw. But folks, I had kind of an unexpected hog hunt being planned. I've got a special guest, Larry Chesney, with one of the senior editors at the Sporting Classic magazines. So we had that hunt lined up, and I said, well, heck, I might as well film it. So I called Richard. Richard said, what? Dave, you know what happens when you bring me along on a hog hunt. I said, Richard, gonna be like the Outback Steakhouse. No worries, just right. So folks, we're dodging mosquitoes, but let me tell you a little bit what just happened here. We finished up Hurricane Florence, and the damage, flooding was just horrendous. But we here are in Big Petite River Basin, and as you can see behind me, I'm about 5'11". The high water mark is right on up here. I was gonna hunt another part of the Great PD, and one of the landowners said, hey, he brought boats in here, and folks, as you know, we're hog hunting, and feral hogs are a nuisance. They brought boats in here to see if they could help cut down the population. He said what they found was unreal. This is a part of an old working plantation. Governor Williams, back in the 1800s, put an extensive diking system in here, and each time it would flood out and it would breach the dike, he would fix it. And then if it flooded it, he'd go a little higher. So today, Richard will probably get you some really good footage of some of these dikes and probably some breaches in that dike. 8 to 10 foot. A friend of mine said he was in here and they was harvesting some hog. He said something really neat. They got in here in a huge oak tree that a man could stand up. He said there were 8 or 10 hogs up in that hollow tree. But you got to imagine, the water was up here full freshet for 12 to 14 days. Wildlife drowned that couldn't climb trees, so the deer and the feral hog population was decimated. Highway 15 is right out here, and they, you know, the amount of game that was run over the road was just was heartbreaking. We saw a lot of deer coming in here, and the mosquitoes, folks, I just dressed out one 2 pound. It's just unreal. So here we are hunting for pleasure and sport, and but you know, life is real. What just happened, we were able to come out here today, and like I say, to just enjoy ourselves. But I want to just say thank you for all the first responders. Thank you for everybody that really pitched in, and this really kind of is helping. Here in South Carolina and in North Carolina, it's not over yet. As a matter of fact, there's still flooding in areas up in North Carolina and along the Georgetown area. And also, folks, on a more personal note today, just last night there was a tremendous tragedy in Florence, South Carolina. Domestic violence, and one police officer was killed, and another was killed. And it was actually close to my house. I was coming in from hunting yesterday, and we heard the gunshots of it. So I just want to lift up in prayer everybody involved, the families and stuff. And life, folks, I've got in perspective coming out here and enjoying what I do, but life is real. It's just that quick, it can go away. Not sure where you are in your walk, but folks, eternity is real. You'll spend it somewhere. But today, spend a few minutes, with me. Let's get his mind off the world. Let's go have a good time. We'll be right back at you. All my life, I've been obsessed with horses. I was curious and wanted to see other people's love for their horses and their stories. I'm David Grant, the PD Cowboy, and along with some incredible horse owners, I want to share the story of horses and the people that have a passion for them. Horsetails is proudly brought to you by Equine Dynamics. See Mike Stein for all your farrier needs, proudly serving North and South Carolina. Warren Coker Hay, simply the best coastal Bermuda hay in the Southeast. Nationwide, when a cowboy rides, he rides with Nationwide on his side. The South Carolina Department of Agriculture, promoting and nurturing agriculture in the great state of South Carolina.
Take a moment to think about the food you buy and eat. Is it fresh? I mean really fresh. Or is it shipped from a grower hundreds or even thousands of miles away? Well, here in South Carolina, we celebrate fresh, locally grown food and unforgettable meals with family and friends. They are time-honored traditions that go back generations. Season after season, our state's farmers help make those meals memorable with delicious produce like sweet corn, butter beans, and cucumbers that taste just perfect. Agriculture has always been at the heart of who we are. Just trace its roots and you'll see that the farmers who work to bring the freshest, best tasting food to your table, they aren't so different from you or me. So, choose food that's rooted right here. Choose certified SC grown. It's a matter of taste.
You are the heart of our community.
You work hard every day, but sometimes money gets tight.
You still have dreams and they need a personal loan to help make them come true.
Anderson Brothers Bank, where we're locally owned and care more about you than your credit score.
We understand your dreams are unique and want to help you find the best way to realize them.
The loan process at Anderson Brothers Bank is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Anderson Brothers Bank. We know behind every personal loan is a person.
Lord, once again, thank you for the opportunity to come out here and enjoy your creation. And Lord, a lot of tragedy with natural disasters and man-made situations here with some lives being lost. And Lord, we're all a part of it. We're all a part of the old Adam, but we know one day you're coming for us. Lord, we just thank you for your salvation. And thank you for one day we'll all be walking streets of gold. Keep it safe. Let us hunt. Amen. Folks, we're getting ready to head out. Steamy this morning. It's probably already upper 80s here, October the 4th, October the 5th. And like I said, we're not sure where these hogs are bedded down, where this river's been flooded. We actually, right here where we unloaded the dogs, we got some fresh signs. So, as in usual, this is a fair chase hunt. We never know, but let's go get us a feral hog. Folks, we sit here waiting for another hunter to arrive. A little tidbit, we're seeing a lot of sign here, a lot of fresh tracks, a lot of rooting, and everybody kind of gets excited. Oh man, the hogs. Well, folks, I have a saying, that's where they were, not where they are. A couple of factors today. The ground is real damp and wet from the flood. They're not gonna be laying in the water, and the mosquitoes. So I'm not quite sure. I've caught a lot of hogs along this river basin. I'm not quite sure where these hogs are laying. They out in the thicket, out in these beans that are mighty wet. So somewhere out there, folks, there's a little piggy, and we aim to find it. Right yonder. I hear you. Yes, do it, guys. Eric, you and Ashley, y'all do it, son, do it. All right, folks, we're going to it. We got them right here. I'm not sure what it is. Got the Wrangler in front. It's been a while since we had it. They got it stretched out. You got him in there? Yeah. Folks, I'm tell you, I've caught many hogs, caught them by myself. It's good to have Ashley back in top hand. I tell you, folks, this is what keeps me at the age I am going. Young guys like this. I was just happy filming and getting here, you know.
Thank you for bringing me back.
That's what it's all about. What's all about.
A great day in the swamps of the PD.
All right, folks, first hog of the morning. We knocked the dust off, got the skunk off of us. But folks, what a treat from me. Like I say, this horsetails and hog hunt's been a journey. New friends, old friends. Welcome back, Ashley Jones. What was it like? That's a pretty good run in there, wasn't it? Yes, folks, we got it on GoPro, so we'll try to take this and bring it to you. Tell me about it.
Been a long time. It's probably been over a year, David. We've hunted many years, and I've had to lay out because of work and family and different things. But I'm gonna tell you, Ain't much like grabbing a live hog. It's in my blood and I love it.
Well, folks, I've had a lot of good friends in my life, a lot of young friends come along. They've been a blessing to me. Eric, you hear me talk about me and Ashley being legends and me and you becoming a legend. So I tell you, folks, I am so thrilled and excited to have a special guest here, but also two really good hands with me. Eric, what about it?
Ashley didn't miss a beat. Was getting it on through there, jumping them ditches, and he grabbed me and said, "Kill him, Eric." So there it was. It's good to have you back, brother.
Folks, non-stop action in the wilds of the Great PD River Basin. Stay tuned. Hold on to your Java. More's coming. And as you see, I'm dragging on by you. Horsetails is proudly brought to you by Warren Coca Pecans, now buying for the fall. Anderson Brothers Bank, the only choice for your banking needs. South Florence Feed and Seed, price, quality, and service. They have all three, and featuring Nutrina Feeds. South Carolina Horsemen's Council, the voice of the horse in South Carolina.
Farmers are always planning for higher yields, more diversity, expanding opportunities. Nationwide and your local agent want to help your farm last through the generations. As the #1 farm insurer in the country, Nationwide can help you achieve your goals. We stand for you.
Don't go racing around looking for your car loan. At Anderson Brothers Bank, we keep you on track from start to finish. Anderson Brothers Bank. Right car, right payment, right now.
Running on bald tires? Is your air conditioning struggling? Checked your brakes recently? Come see Morrell Tire Service for all your auto service needs. Featuring a complete line of Michelin tires. From trucks to horse trailers and sports cars to first cars. Michelin is safe when new and safe when worn. Stop in and see why we are your trusted Michelin dealer and repair specialists. Morrell Tire, Latta, South Carolina.
We're joined now with Larry Chesney, one of the senior editors with a very fine magazine, Sporting Classics, that I read all the time. Larry, thanks for coming.
David, thanks for inviting me.
I was going to interview Larry at the beginning of the show, folks, but I'm glad I waited toward the end of this long, hard ride. Larry, like I say, not blowing smoke up your tidy whities. For you not have ridden as long as you said, you've done a great job today.
I hung on.
You did.
Most of the way I hung on.
Well, we just got one hog today, but you saw some beautiful country. But tell the folks what you do with Sporting Classics.
Well, I'm a senior editor. I've been with the magazine in one function or another for about over 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and I travel sometimes. It's really a part-time job. I sort of, I work in order to be able to hunt. In other words, I get paid a little bit for stories, and that pays for my habit, my hunting habit. So I work in advertising otherwise. But as far as Sporting Classics magazine, I've had opportunities to travel to Canada and to Africa and Costa Rica and various places. Also done a lot of great hunting, met a lot of nice people right here in South Carolina and the Southeast. So it's been a good life.
Well, it's a very well done magazine. We were talking earlier, coming with all the print going out. They still bi-monthly, or is that how they publish?
It's bi-monthly, and we've got a very loyal readership that's kind of stuck with us and enjoy the feel of that nice magazine and kind of flipping it through their hands. And we do have a digital edition as well, and it's selling well. But there's a lot of people still like that magazine and that beautiful shiny slick cover, and usually has a beautiful painting from a outdoor artist, and they get that thing and they're very proud of it, and people like to keep it. I mean, it'll lay around on their coffee tables. It has a long life. In other words, it's not like a Time or Newsweek where they read it and they're done with it and it goes into the recycle. This magazine can stay for a long time, and they'll go back through it, or people just like see it laying there.
Well, you were in town for what? Holly contacted me about bringing you hunting.
This is for a Southeastern Outdoor Press Association.
Okay.
It's a gathering of writers and not just outdoor writers, photographers, videographers, people with TV shows that work in the Southeast, and then also a lot of people, production are manufacturing companies, product representatives that come from all over the country to this, and it moves from place to place. It's not always in South Carolina.
Okay.
But it happened to be in Florence, South Carolina this year, and I live in Rock Hill, so I made a point of coming to it.
Well, I tell you what, folks, we put him to the ringer today. We all about give out. So will you write about today? Or probably not.
I will. I'll write all the good stuff, and I'll probably include a couple of the more challenging moments, you know, but a few mosquitoes and a little bit of heat and a little bit of mud and learning how to ride a horse. I think I skipped lessons 101 and 102 and 103 and went right on into to 105 advanced, because I did some things that you have to pay for rides at Carowinds to do on this horse. But,
well, with that, being innocent in that, you were riding, we were all on our South Carolina State horse, the Marsh Tacky.
Right.
And like I say, you're a novice rider, and we had did some sporty riding. So, you know, just tell us, I mean, we did some pretty down the hill, up the hill, and these old rice stocks, you hung in there. So what was going through your mind, Larry? You, like I say, sincerely, you did a good job.
Well, I was told that this horse knew what he was doing, and really to try to trust the horse, and I did. And once in a while somebody'd say, you know, lean back, loosen the reins, and I'd do what I was told, and by doing so, I survived and didn't get knocked out. I got my knees bumped a few times. Got my knees bumped a few times, but I managed to not fall off till the very end when I tried to get back up. And lost my balance there on the road, but I was a little bit sore in the saddle area, knees, ankles, but I feel pretty good now. I'm about ready to go do it again.
Well, folks, when the old PD Cowboy passes this side, I'll remember some good things and some bad things, but there'll be a parcel of folks that say, I remember that guy. I spent 6 hours in the saddle for him, and it took me 6 days to get over it. Larry, thanks for thinking about me and coming out here, and we're looking forward to that article.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Horsetails is proudly brought to you by Morrell Tire, working tirelessly for all your automotive needs. South Florence Feed and Seed, proudly offering Tribune Equine Nutrition. Southern States, your local farm supply store. Equestrian Images, exceptional equine photography and video services.
Southern States carefully crafts every bag of Legends horse feed with the highest quality ingredients available. The Legends superior line of specially formulated feeds will help keep your horses happy, healthy, and in peak form. You and your horse have a special bond. To keep that bond everlasting, Legends horse feeds can accommodate every type of nutritional need a horse might have. Legends, redefining what horse feed should be. Visit your local Southern States dealer to see which Legends feed is best for your horse.
When is the last time you traced your roots? Not your family's roots. The roots of the food you eat. Those roots should run deep, not from afar. Just like the legacy of farmers here in South Carolina. Day in, day out, farmers from every corner of our state are carrying on the traditions of bringing locally grown food to your table. So, choose food that's rooted right here. Choose certified SC grown. It's a matter of taste.
At Anderson Brothers Bank, we have the right formula for your car loan. Doing loans the big banks won't, at rates finance companies don't. Get on the right track with the right car, the right payment, and get to the finish line in record time. Anderson Brothers Bank.
South Carolina Commissioner of Agriculture Hugh Weathers. Agriculture is made known to our consumers in South Carolina through what we call certified SC grown. That label identifies what our farmers are producing. People love it, and it's a great way to connect farmers and consumers. So look for certified SC grown if you're traveling through South Carolina.
Folks joining out, Greg Grochowski. Greg, thanks for coming all the way to Charleston for another adventure. I don't have a lot of questions. Just tell the folks what happened today a lot.
I'm so tired. You know, if you would have interviewed me at the beginning, you would have seen me laughing and having fun and cutting up. Right now, I want to like fall on the ground. I've been bit by mosquitoes. I'm soaked through to the bone. We're tired. This guy has endless energy. We've chased pigs all over the forest, but we had a good time.
Certainly did, certainly did. Got one pig. It's uncanny when we invite Richard.
Two pigs. What do you?
Yeah, two. Oh, I forget.
One might have been this big.
Folks, and he's behind the camera. When we invite Richard, there's action, but not pig action.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Greg, you've been hunting with me about a year and a half now?
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday was deer, today was pig. It's been fun. It's been fun.
Well, tell the folks, what's it like just really saddling up and on these marsh tackies and following these dogs in the Big Petey River Basin?
You know,
sporty ride.
Sporty, it's adventurous, it's scary, it's thrilling, it's fatiguing, it's all of those things wrapped up. It's different than any other sport that you could do, I think. And you're involved in nature. It's camaraderie. There's nothing like it.
Well, I feel like you're an advanced horseman. You're a pretty good trainer, and ridden numerous breeds. You got an Arabian you do a good job on. Just tell the folks, I'm partial to the tackies. The best breed of horse is 4 legs, mane or tail. You've been on them a good while now.
Well, you ride probably the greatest hog hunting tacky horse on the planet right now, and I bet he wishes he had a mask and a snorkel when you went to go across that bog, and all I saw was horse and all underwater. His head went underwater, and then he came leaping up out of the water. You're holding on. You were floating for a second, it looked like, and just leaping out of that bog. Unfortunately, I didn't follow you.
Well, no, I usually let me go first. Folks, I will mention I have been truly blessed in my life to ride some good horses, but Simpson is probably the absolute very best. He's right at 15 hands, folks, 14.3, 800 pounds. But horses are powerful animals.
Yeah.
But it is like that, and I take it for granted, especially when I ride another horse. And Greg, today, I just take things so for granted when I'm on him. And me and him are so alike. We both A personalities, that type of thing, and we just kind of feed off each other. Sometimes I give him too hard a time. But we went down today, and it happened so fast, folks, that we went down. But his strength and his agility, he gathered himself, come back up, and I just let him alone.
Yeah.
But his head was down up under the water, and he come up and shook his head, shook off mosquitoes, and off we went.
Off you went. All of the tackies here, their feet, they're so stable underneath them. You sometimes forget what's underneath you. I mean, it's swampy, it's sticks, it's bushes, it's slippery, and you don't even know it because you're just sitting on it, and they're just working their way through it. It's pretty amazing.
Well, Greg,
thank you again.
Let's go home and get a shower and get clean.
Yes, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Folks, a long day. Simpson's tired and ready to go to the truck, and so is his old cowboy. My old hat's about as beat up as me. 2 or 3 times my friend said, "Hey, you got your hat on backwards." I said, "Well, that's kind of the way I feel." Folks, like I say, it's been a historic flooding here on the Big Petey River Basin. You look here behind me, I'm up here about 5 feet on my horse, and behind me to my left, and here, see how high it was up here? 6 and 7 feet. And hopefully, we took our handheld cameras and the GoPros in the woods, folks, and saw some deer carcasses and hog carcasses up on the dikes. I can only imagine what the wildlife went through, probably 10, 11, 12 nights flooded like this. But folks, I mean, the Big Petey River Basin has been here since the inception of time. Got a lot of water come and go down this, but I just feel privileged to have come here and hunted it. The farmer here has had catastrophic losses in his beans. It doesn't look that bad by what you see right here, folks, but it's a total loss. Even if it was able to get in there, the combines couldn't stand up. But so be it. That's a farmer. He gambles every year. He plants new seeds every year for new opportunities. Folks, as usual, when I call my good friend Richards and say, bring the big camera, we always struggle. But I know you've enjoyed the show today. We talked a little bit about the history and the flooding and stuff, and hey, if you live long enough, we'll see another flood. And that's just what life all about. Floods come and floods go, so you just gotta go with the flow, and pun intended. Folks, once again, at the beginning of the show, I had a heartfelt, some things that's happened in our area, that nature calls and also man calls. And folks, our prayers do go out to those families. Folks, hope you enjoyed today's show as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. And until next week, keep your reins low and your hands quiet, and do give thanks for what God has done for this great country of ours.